Hello there, this is Michael with the general reading intended for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of August 2020. I hope that this video finds you well and in good spirits. I do have the astrology post linked down below, which I'll be referencing throughout this reading. But if you'd like a more thorough or comprehensive look at what is going on in the stars, I highly recommend that you check out that blog. We are going to be in some very interesting and intense energy over the next few months, not even necessarily just in August. So I just want to give that word of warning to anyone who might be feeling anxious or a little fearful right now. It might not be the best time to look at that blog. So give yourself some time, center yourself, then maybe look back on it. I do feel like there are still some tools and some perspectives that should be helpful for you. I try not to just bomb you with really triggering information or really challenging stuff. I really always try to give people something to work with, and that's actually why these videos are coming out a bit late. I was really trying to figure out, how do I work with this energy? What am I supposed to be doing? And the reality is that no matter what's happening in the collective, there's always going to be things that are happening on the individual level as well. So a lot of what we're going to be speaking to today is pertinent to your life or the person's life that you are watching this reading for. I am going to start shuffling. I do have all of my links down below for those of you who are looking for personal readings or Reiki sessions. I also have all of my social media where I post updates, announcements. Occasionally I'll do card readings as well as giveaways, so it's just a good way to stay on my radar. And of course, I want to thank all of you who have liked, shared, and subscribed to this channel. I really appreciate it. It does help this channel grow, and it allows me to keep sharing these messages with all of you. So what are the messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Interesting. What are the messages for Scorpio for the first half of August here? So we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is very nice to see. The Son of Swords and the 5 of Wands. And let's draw one more. I do feel like there's a lot of stability for you this month, Scorpio. But honestly, I'm looking at the Son of Swords and this 5 of Wands, and it feels like some of you are going to be having some conflict, potentially with an air sign, so Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This could also be a family member as well. There may be some sort of conflict that's happening, and the fight could even be about money with this 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. And we have the Father of Cups here as well. I feel like it's really important for you, Scorpio, to be the bigger person in this situation. I talked about this a lot for this month in August, where people are going to be getting they're kind of getting salt thrown into their wounds. And Leo season has a lot to do with our ego, our sense of worth and confidence, and it's a great month for boosting that, if that is something that you struggle with. It can also really touch on those wounds, and it might make people reactive or a little bit dramatic. And if someone is acting very dramatically towards you, maybe even attacking you or trying to pick a fight with you, as the Son of Swords, I don't feel like it's going to be particularly productive. And I think it's really up to you to figure out how you're going to use your energy in this situation. I want to clarify some things really quickly before we move on. Something about this 10 of Pentacles. Don't make your peace about how other people are behaving. Okay? That's a big message. And really for this year, right? But with this 10 of Pentacles, we have the 9 Pentacles here, and the 10th is actually right in the center. Which tells me that the sense of stability that we often associate with the 10 of Pentacles is fundamentally found within inside of yourself. You could be the type of person who doesn't have a lot and feels very wealthy and abundant because you're counting your blessings. And you could also have all the money in the world and be miserable. So that sense of security and peace doesn't necessarily come from your circumstance. Isn't that interesting? Especially when we're going through such a challenging time, we can make it seem like we can only be happy if the world looks a very specific way. And Scorpio, I feel like there's a lot of beauty here for you. There's a lot of abundance and stability coming in this first half of the month. We do have a full moon that was in your 4th house in Aquarius. And maybe that's why this stuff with family is coming up, actually. Or home. And really trying to find this home for yourself. Where is home for you? Because that's in your heart. And your peace is in your heart. There's a lot of people who may be trying to fight you this month. It might not just be one person, or it feels like there's a lot of energy coming at you all at once, or that's even just happening around you. I feel like you're almost on the sidelines here as this Father of Cups. You're actually turned away from each other with this Father of Swords, or I'm sorry, the Son of Swords. Someone is really trying to prove themselves, or really just coming from this very wounded place or insecure place. And you're not seeing eye to eye, but honestly, Scorpio, it feels like you're kind of just being like, no, I'm going to focus on something else. And I think you're focusing on your own sense of peace and stability. Some of you may really feel like you have to go into this fight or into this conflict. But the way that you carry yourself in this conversation is going to make a huge, huge impact. Not even necessarily for this person, but for your own peace of mind. You don't have to rile yourself up just because someone else is already riled up. And that's all we'll say about that. Phoenix and Fish coming out as animal cards for you. There is this very exciting beginning here. A lot of stability, some rebirth of passion with the Phoenix. And maybe some movement happening for you as well. Maybe you're the one who's also feeling a little antsy or anxious, wanting things to move very quickly as the Son of Swords, but they're just not able to happen very quickly right now. We do have Mars that is in its pre-shadow phase, and it will go retrograde in September, but things are slowing down right now. I know for myself, it sort of felt like a Mercury retrograde, and we haven't even gone into the full Mars retrograde. It only happens once every year and a half or so, and it can bring up a lot of conflict once we're in it, a lot of self-destruction, even if we're not careful. But I don't feel like that's a risk you're running, Scorpio. You have a very good sense of yourself here in this situation that's going to help you. There is this desire for movement and very, you know, kind of a fast-paced thing with this fish, but it almost feels like you're swimming in circles. And if something doesn't feel like it's happening right away, good things take time to build. And 2020 is just a year of breaking things down, pulling it apart piece by piece, looking at it. What's working, what isn't. It's very hard to move forward in this energy, isn't it? And that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes we're supposed to appreciate the wealth we already have. And obviously this is a general reading. Some of you may be struggling financially, and I'm not insensitive to you when I'm saying all of these things. I actually feel like there is some abundance coming your way because the Phoenix represents the root chakra. Some of you have an imbalanced root chakra. You're dealing with this fear or scarcity or aggression, and it's really important that you ground yourself. And I feel like there's something very powerful coming in at the start of August for you. Just this new energy, and it feels very delicious. So what do we have? What do we have for Scorpio in the second half of the month now? Where's all of this leading? We already have the Judgment card with the Page or Daughter of Wands. There's a lot of passion. You're being very ignited. Perhaps even some form of spiritual awakening. And that makes some sense. We do have Uranus, the Great Awakener, going retrograde in the sign of Taurus at the end of the month, or towards the middle of the month on the 15th. So that's in your house of relationships. Changing the way that you look at partnerships, both business and personal. There is some healing that is being brought to a situation, and it feels like it's with this person or the situation you're dealing with at the start of the month. There might be a bit of like, I don't even want to call it an explosion, but there might be a bit of an outburst at the start of the month here, and I feel like it's going to kind of be remedied towards the end of the month, or maybe even out into September. But I don't feel like you're going to be constantly fighting, or that this is a forever split. You do have the Father of Pentacles, so again, a lot of abundance and stability. And generosity here as well, actually. Sharing the wealth, sharing the abundance, however that looks. If that's not money, then just that love, that feeling. Some of you could be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or Gemini, or Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. There is that Gemini energy with Son of Swords though too. I feel like a lot of you are just finding this spark again. Something is happening this month, and you are very much to yourself. I felt like you were kind of on the sidelines through August, and you have the Hermit card here as well. Could be Virgo energy. There could be a Virgo who's helping you figure out what's really important, what is worth investing your energy in with this Daughter of Wands and the Judgment card. I feel like there's just this eureka breakthrough moment with this as well. It's like just a sigh of relief. You figured out what's worth your energy, and you have something that feels very productive and very good. Some of you may be feeling a bit creatively blocked. I'm also getting that with the Five of Wands and Father of Cups in the first half of the month. Oops. But we do have something opening up, and of course you have the Unicorn, your third eye, your imagination. You are very creative, and maybe this is why you're kind of taking some time for yourself. You have some pretty big cards on the table, actually, with the Phoenix card and the Unicorn card. There's only 7 of these spirit cards in the deck, which are kind of these mythological creatures. So there's a lot of big shifts that are happening in your life right now, and especially with this Judgment card. Some of you are really moving forward with something. You're being called towards something, I should say. Could be involving an earth sign, could be involving this air sign. And we had a couple other cards fall here too. We had the dragonfly and the camel. So there is this sense of spirit quest. And obviously we're in a pandemic, so you may not be physically traveling somewhere or physically going on a pilgrimage, but you're on a spiritual journey. And also this dragonfly card, this is kind of reminiscent of Gemini energy. So maybe there is a Gemini you are dealing with. But you have this wellspring within yourself. Within yourself. With inside? That's redundant. I'm a Virgo. I'm sorry. These things bother me. You have this water. This cooling power in you. And you have this faith moving forward. Even if things feel a little uncertain right now, you know this oasis is coming. You will arrive there. So have faith. And this dragonfly card, again, there is this scattered energy. I definitely see that with the Son of Swords and the Five of Wands too. There's a lot of scattered energy with this. And if you're feeling like you're just unsettled or constantly trying to do a whole bunch of things at once and you don't know what to prioritize, breathe. Take a breath. Dragonfly is an air elemental card, as indicated by this alchemical symbol for air, but it's also very closely associated with water, our emotions. And dragonfly, with kind of this iridescent shimmer, speaks to how our emotions can color our thoughts, and vice versa, how our thoughts can affect our emotions. And what is your mind like? What is this pool of your thoughts like? Is it wobbly? Is it shaking? Is it being stirred right now? Are you seeing things clearly? Or do you have this perfect reflection? There is this big spiritual thing for you this month. And you may really need to take a lot of time to yourself to meditate and find the center. I keep hearing Eye of the Storm. And that's interesting because I know we have a hurricane right now. But finding the Eye of the Storm, that's kind of your invitation this month. And in doing this, you actually unearth a lot more for yourself than you're bargaining for. And if you feel like this turbulent energy has you going off in a million different directions at once, slow down. A lot of the time when we're in that state, we just want to get things done as quickly as possible, but sometimes we just need to pull away and take a moment and really figure out what we need to do. And we go in with so much more clarity that we end up finishing things much quicker than we would have otherwise when our energy is just so scattered. So that's my advice for you, Scorpio. I do hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what the situation is, what this drama is. I think there's an invitation to really elevate yourself through all of this. And I am curious to hear back from you. I do have all of my links for personal readings and Reiki sessions down below, and if this reading doesn't quite resonate or you'd like greater clarity on something, you are more than welcome to look at the videos for your moon, rising, or Venus sign. And if you don't know what those are, I have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below, which should be able to help you figure that out. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Scorpio. Have a happy August.